Imagine waking up tomorrow and not remembering who you are. Not your name, not your past, not your fears, not your limits. You open your eyes slowly. The room is white, quiet, cold. Machines are beeping beside you. Your body feels weak. Your mind feels empty. Then, suddenly, the door opens. A doctor walks in. He looks at you carefully. He smiles and says, "We've been waiting for you. You are a Navy SEAL, one of the strongest, most elite warriors in the world, and we need you to get back on your feet." Now pause for a second. Think about that. How would you sit? How would you breathe? How would you look at yourself? Would you sit weak? Or would something inside you rise? Would your shoulders straighten? Would your voice become firm? Would your fear disappear? Now imagine something else. What if the doctor walked in and said instead, "You are weak. You always fail. You never finish what you start"? What would happen then? Would your body still rise with power, or would it fall into doubt? Here is the truth most people never realize. Your life is not controlled by your past. It is controlled by your identity. And identity is a switch inside your mind. Flip it one way and you become powerful. Flip it the other way and you become small. This is the story of a man who discovered that switch at the lowest moment of his life, and when he flipped it, everything changed. His name was Leo. Leo was not always broken, but he was never truly alive either. He lived a normal life, not terrible, not great, just average. He woke up every morning at 7 a.m. The alarm rang. He turned it off slowly. He stared at the ceiling, not excited, not hopeful, just existing. He got out of bed, brushed his teeth, got dressed, and went to work. Same road, same people, same thoughts. Every day, inside his mind, there was always a quiet voice saying, "Don't try too much. What if you fail? What will people think?" So Leo stayed small. He never chased big dreams. He never took big risks. He never believed he was someone special. He walked into rooms quietly. He spoke softly. He avoided attention. He avoided challenge. Not because he was weak, but because he believed he was weak, and belief is powerful. You see, Leo did not fail because life stopped him. He failed because his identity stopped him. He saw himself as someone ordinary, someone replaceable, someone who survives, but never conquers. He worked at a small business. He had ideas, good ideas, but he never shared them. He told himself, "They won't listen. They won't care. I'm not important." So he stayed silent. Years passed like this, slowly, quietly, safely. But safety has a hidden cost. It kills your potential. And Leo did not realize it yet. But a storm was coming. A storm that would destroy the man he was and force him to become the man he was meant to be. The storm did not come all at once. It came slowly. First, his job became unstable. The company began losing money. People were fired. Fear filled the office. Leo felt it. That quiet panic. That silent danger. Then, one morning, it happened. He was called into the office. The manager did not smile. The manager did not talk much. He simply said, "We have to let you go." Just like that. Years of work, gone in one sentence. Leo walked out of the building, holding a small box, his hands shaking, his chest heavy, his mind silent. He went home, sat on his bed, and stared at the wall. He told himself, "It's okay, I'll find something else." But days passed, then weeks. No job, no money, no hope. His savings disappeared. His confidence disappeared. His identity began to collapse. Then more problems came. Bills piled up. Calls came in, unanswered. His bank account dropped lower and lower until one day it reached zero. Zero. Not just money, but hope. That night, Leo sat alone, in the dark. Rain was falling outside. The room was cold, silent, heavy. He looked at himself in the mirror, and for the first time, he did not recognize the person looking back. He saw someone weak, someone broken, someone lost. He whispered to himself, "This is the end. I failed. I am nothing." Those words became his identity, and identity shapes reality. The more he repeated those words, the more real they became. His body became weaker. His voice became quieter. His posture collapsed. He stopped trying, stopped believing, stopped living. He became a prisoner of his own identity. One night, Leo could not sleep. His mind was heavy. His heart was tired. He lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. And for the first time in his life, he felt completely empty. Not angry, not sad, just empty. He felt like life had defeated him. He asked himself, what is the point? Why fight? Why try? He closed his eyes and imagined disappearing, not existing, not feeling, not fighting anymore. That was his lowest moment. The moment where most people quit. The moment where most people surrender. But something unexpected happened. Something small, something quiet, a memory. He remembered a story he heard years ago about a Navy SEAL who woke up from a coma. The SEAL had lost his memory. He did not remember his strength. He did not remember his training. He did not remember his past. But when they told him who he was, everything changed. He began to sit differently, walk differently, think differently. Not because his body changed, but because his identity changed. And suddenly, Leo realized something. He asked himself a powerful question. What if I am not weak? What if I just believe I am weak? What if my identity is the real prison? That question changed everything. Leo stood up. Slowly, he walked to the mirror. He looked at himself. Really looked. Not with fear, not with judgment, but with curiosity. He asked himself, who am I? Not who he was yesterday. Not who people said he was, but who he truly was. He realized something shocking. His identity was not fixed. It was chosen. And he had chosen weakness. Without realizing it, he had chosen doubt. Without realizing it, he had chosen fear. Without realizing it, but if identity could be chosen, it could also be changed. Right there, in that quiet room, Leo made a decision. He said out loud, I am not weak. I am not finished. I am not broken. His voice shook, but he repeated it again and again and again. Something began to change. Not outside, but inside, a small spark, a small strength, a small belief. He stood straighter. He breathed deeper. He looked stronger, not because his body changed, but because his identity changed. He decided to become the Navy SEAL of his own life, someone who does not quit, someone who does not surrender, someone who keeps moving forward, even in pain, even in darkness, even in fear. That night, Leo flipped the switch. The next morning, nothing outside had changed. He still had no job, no money, no guarantee, but something inside him was different. His identity, he woke up early, not because he had to, but because he chose to. He dressed with purpose. He walked with confidence. He spoke with strength, not fake strength, real strength, the strength of belief. He applied for jobs, not with fear, but with certainty. He improved his skills. He exercised his body. He trained his mind. He stopped speaking weakness. He stopped speaking defeat. He started speaking power. Slowly, his life began to respond. Opportunities appeared. People noticed him. Doors opened. Not because luck changed, but because identity changed. He was no longer the man who waited. He became the man who acted. Here is the truth. Nothing magical happened to Leo. No miracle. No shortcut. No rescue. Only one thing changed. His identity. He stopped seeing himself as weak and started seeing himself as strong. He stopped seeing himself as a victim and started seeing himself as a warrior. He became the Navy SEAL of his own life, and so can you. Right now, you may feel lost. You may feel broken. You may feel behind. But listen carefully. You are not your past. You are not your failures. You are not your fears. You are what you choose to believe. Identity is a switch. Flip it, and everything changes. Walk like the strongest version of yourself. Speak like the strongest version of yourself. Think like the strongest version of yourself. And soon, you will become that person. Not someday, but starting now, because the truth is, you don't become strong first, and then believe. You believe first, and then become strong. So stand up. Right now, inside your mind, flip the switch. Become the Navy SEAL of your own life. The fight is not over. Your story is not finished. This is where it begins.